Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. That was the much anticipated bout on Saturday night, UFC 261. Usman just knocked out Jorge Masvidal to defend his welterweight belt, UFC 261. That was his 14th straight victory for Usman in the UFC. I've not always been super into MMA, I'll be honest. For whatever reason, it hasn't always captured my attention. But this directly correlates to the point I was just making about baseball. What drew me to MMA was the personality of the fighters involved in the bouts. You've got characters, you've got charisma, you've got trash talking, you've got storylines, you've got narratives that are developing pre-fight, that are developing as the fights ensue. And Usman, his ability to use just a flurry of moves and a combination, just utilizing that jab to knock out Masvidal, just clocked him in the face, got him on the ground, finished him off. Again, I'm not saying I'm a huge advocate and a proponent of violence, but that is one of the interesting elements of the sport. You've got all this trash talking, you've got all this buildup, and you're leading to one potentially superior moment and triumphant moment for one, and a calamitous moment for another. And both opponents, both competitors at the apex meeting, they're squaring off. You're in the ring. You got nowhere else to go. You got to deal with your issues inside. And he was just unbelievable. Usman, again, knocked him out in the second round. I was super impressed with him. He's already making a case to be the greatest UFC fighter potentially ever. And that's saying a lot, given that there is a deep and extensive list of talented UFC fighters. And even because of that, Conor McGregor shouted out Usman now on Twitter, seeking a fight and actually chirping a bit himself. He called out Usman on Twitter for using a combination similar to his own. He said, quote, "Can't be copying my words and my shots." So this is why, for a bevy of reasons, the UFC is kind of all of a sudden inserted itself into my life, into my interests. It's been super entertaining. And let me ask you this, because I talked about the intrigue that it has versus the lack of intrigue in baseball. If you have the option to watch a pay-per-view fight that you have to pay for between Usman and Conor McGregor, or you're going to watch a Tuesday night baseball game between the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays, what are you going to choose to watch? I love Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's a talented player for the Blue Jays. His father was really good as well, but he's not going to move the needle. That game's not going to draw me to the television set. I will set up my couch to watch Kamaru Usman take on Conor McGregor. That's a matchup that's a bout I'd be willing to pay for and fight and see. So, but again, just the actual matchup itself was fun to watch. And he's really good. He's really talented, 170, but he's built like a truck. He's got tremendous endurance, tremendous size. I was very impressed with him. Finally,